Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. For today's video, it was actually inspired by one of my subscribers, and she asked me what I would recommend for a full face in South Africa. So I had given her a list of recommendations and I thought, why not just do a video on it? So today we'll be doing a full face of my favorite products that are only available in South Africa or elsewhere, but mostly accessible in South Africa. So without further ado, let's get started. My lips are currently really cracked and dry. If you've seen one of my shorts that I did recently with a pH changing lip balm, it's not very moisturizing and it caused my lips to just chap even more than they already were. So to start off with, we're going to go in with a lip oil, and it is the Essence Cranberry Lip Oil with a tinting effect. I just find it less drying than a lip balm because, I don't know, Vaseline tends to dry my lips out even more. Just a thin coat of that just to get the lips nice and moisturized before going in later with lipstick. For primer, I'm sure you all know that I like to double prime. So today we have these two products again from Essence. Essence is one of the most accessible, good quality, affordable makeup that we have in South Africa. I'm sure I've said this before, but like Maybelline, Wet n Wild and L'Oreal are actually quite expensive in South Africa. I wouldn't say it is with any stretch like really affordable. So Essence is the most accessible for us, and there's a couple of others sprinkled in, but for good quality stuff I'd say Essence is our best bet. So a lot of this is going to be largely Essence based, but I forgot to clip my hair back, so let's just go do that. Firstly, I like to go in with the Hello Good Stuff Glow Serum Primer. Put this all over the face, so I just take a couple of pumps of that, maybe 3 pumps, and I just spread that all over my face. It does give the skin a nice glow. It smells really good as well, and it feels quite hydrating on the skin. I've actually done this primer combo a few times now, and every time I do it, my makeup looks so good. Like, my pores are minimized, the powders stick nicely, the liquid products apply nicely over the top. So I really do recommend these two. For our second primer, I have the Essence Fix and Last Makeup Gripping Jelly Primer, and it's supposed to be hydrating and refreshing, and it's free from silicones and alcohol. I really like this. I didn't think I would, but you can see I'm already like halfway with a bottle just because I really enjoy this. So I take a couple of pumps of that between my fingers, and this I just try to focus in my T-zone. So in my problem areas, I'd say. And I do take quite a bit of it because, I mean, you don't have to, but that's just how I like to do mine. And then I just leave that to sink into the skin, and it's just been working amazingly for me. While we leave the primer to sink in, we're going to go in with brows. As you all know, I don't like doing brows on camera, but this was one of the products that I did recommend as well. This is the Brow Styling Soap Set, and it must be good because I'm almost out. I just have like around the edges. It's not very deep and doesn't have that much product in it, so that is why it's gone so quickly, and I use it daily. So what I like to do with this is, I used to spray it into the actual soap dish. I just found that it made it very like sticky almost, and it took longer to dry down. So now I just give my spoolie a couple of spritzes, and then I just go into the pan, pick some up and brush that through my brows. The spoolie I'm using today is quite soft, so I need to put quite a bit of product on it. So I always backcomb my brows first, and then I go and shape them out after, just to get every hair coated in the soap. And then I just give that a couple of seconds just to like do its thing. And then I go ahead and just brush them into place. Then I take the back of the brush and I just push them onto the skin. That's how I like to do my eyebrows, but you don't have to do that, obviously. And then I leave that to dry down too, just so that my eyebrow pen will glide over. So I leave that, and then next I was going to do skin first because I know a lot of people don't like eyeshadow being so early on in the video and would prefer to skip through it, but I will again put chapters in the video so that you can just skip through to the parts that you want to see. So I'm going to go ahead and do eyes next. So for eye primer, I just used this Eye Perfect eyeshadow primer from Signature, which is also only available in South Africa. It's not the best thing I've ever tried, but it does the job. For eyeshadow today, my recommendation for eyeshadow is this Passion Pro. I didn't know if that was the right way around, but I got these two palettes from Passion Pro. This one in the shade Tantalizing Turquoise was the first one I got, but it's all shimmers. So that is what it looks like, and I really did like the quality of this, and it definitely sparked my interest. So I went ahead and bought another one, and this one is in the shade, or in the colorway, Forest, and this is what it looks like. It has 2 mattes and 3 shimmers. It's only R49.95 per palette, and it's a 5-pan, so I thought it was pretty good quality for how much it is. I don't like many other products from Passion Pro, if I'm being honest. I do have one more item in here that I do like, but the majority of their products are not that great. They're just very cheaply made. Like, their foundations and their primers contain petroleum jelly, which is basically Vaseline, and I don't see why that is placed in a makeup product. For me, it's like a bulker, so it just makes it, yeah, I don't know, it's cheap. So I do really like the eyeshadows. It does have talc and mica in it, but it doesn't smell like talc, which is a good sign for me. So I'm not going to use all the colors today. I'm going to use the majority of them because it is only 5 shades, but I'm going to go in with this brown first, and I'm going to concentrate it on the crease and the outer corner. Remember to tap out your creases on your eyes, otherwise you will definitely blend your eyeshadow in the creases and it's not going to look the best. So just straight off the bat, you can see it's quite pigmented without much fallout. They do have lots of shades, or colorways, I keep saying shades, in the Passion Pro one. I don't think a lot of them have mattes, but they do have a lot of shimmers, which is pretty for like a one and done or an accompanying palette to another. So I really like it. I forgot to say, I bought a bunch of brushes from, if you've seen my short, from Mr. Price, and I bought a box of eyeshadow brushes, 5 eyeshadow brushes, that was 69 Rand, and it's really good. I'll use a couple of them now, but it's really, really good. This one is from Unicorn Cosmetics. I don't think it has a name on it. No, it doesn't. So that is the matte, and I think that is a really, really good pigmentation as well as a blendability of the actual product. Let's grab a Mr. Price brush. This is just a medium shading brush, they call it, but it's a flat, dense brush, and I'm going to use that to apply some shimmer to the eye. So I'm going to go in with this bronze shade over here. You don't have to, because the pigment is pretty good on these as well, but I'm going to spritz mine just because I want like the maximum payoff, as always, and I mostly spray all my shimmer shades, just so it also sticks nicely to the eye. And I'm going to apply that to most of the lid, trying to merge it with the brown on the outside. Look how pretty that looks. And this, like I said, this shadow is only R49.95, so 50 Rand, so that's great if you get pocket money or just don't want to spend that much on makeup. I'm going to use another flat brush from my Mr. Price set, and this is a smudging brush, they call it, which is just a smaller, flat, dense brush, and I'm going to go in with the gold. Oh, that doesn't have a mirror. This I'm just going to put in the inner third of the eye, taking it all the way to the inner corner. I'm not sure if you can see the difference between the gold and the bronze, but I definitely can. For liquid liner, I have this Catrice Micro Tip Graphic Liner. Catrice isn't that cheap either. I think this was 100 Rand, and I'm sure you can get one cheaper from Essence, but I really like that this has a really flexible point. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a wing, just using my tapes as a guideline. Something like that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish the other eye off camera, take off my eye tapes, and then we can go ahead and move on to the face. So this is what the eye looks like without the eye tapes, and as you can see, you get a nice sharp line. Also, the eye look took me about 3 or 4 minutes without obviously talking on camera, so it is a very quick eye look. Moving on to foundation, my recommendation would 100% be this Sorbet Face First Serum Foundation. I really like it, and I liked it so much I went out and got my mom one as well, just because it's really lightweight on the skin and you can't even feel it. It looks so good and natural. The color options run very orange, and not to float my own boat, but I went out to get my mom's foundation without color matching her, and I came back with a perfect color. So she's like 1 to 2 shades darker than me, I'd say, so it's not difficult, but I'm still proud of myself because I can barely color match myself. Anyway, my shade in this one is Clay, so it is quite orange. I mean, it's in the name, Clay. It says shake well, so I'm just going to shake it. But I really love this foundation and would really recommend it. I didn't say this, but I have combination like / oily skin, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm actually just going to put it on my hand because I don't want to put the applicator on my face. And what I like to do is, probably not enough, it does also smell like licorice, I'm not gonna lie. So I think it has licorice root in it. So I like to spread it out like this and slightly spread it with my fingers. I don't know why, but I've just found that this really works for me. What was that? And then I've only just tried this setting spray and it's not my favorite, just because I did the eyeshadow test, and this is a makeup finishing spray. So to me, that means the final step, and it says set your makeup for all day, but it stays sticky. It doesn't even dry down at all. So I'm going to use this just to mist my face now before we blend in the foundation. So this is 89 Rand as well, just so you know. Quite an aggressive spritzer. You can use a sponge by all means, but I prefer to do my foundation like this. So I grab a foundation brush and then I just go ahead and stipple this into the skin. And once that is blended in, I take the butt of my sponge and then I just go over my whole face with this just to pick up any excess product and push that further into the skin. And this is what my skin is looking like. See, you can still kind of see my own skin through it, and over there I have a blemish and you can still see it, so it's very skin-like. I just wish the color match was slightly better, but love the finish of this, love the feel of it on my skin. It doesn't fully dry down because it is a serum foundation, but with powder you can do that. It's not like the smudge one that goes all gloopy. This one's funny. So my recommendation for that, I said that funny, my recommendation for concealer, I've tried loads of concealers. I really have, Revolution and Rimmel and W7 and so many, but I haven't found something that is the right consistency for my under eyes. I am 33 years old, if you didn't know, so I do have fine lines underneath my eyes. It's also expressive, like I blink a lot as well. So my recommendation for concealer is this smudge concealer, and it is the Smudge Perfecting Concealer in the shade Sand Beige. The color is slightly off again just because it is quite neutral, but I find it really complimentary on my skin, and the texture is so creamy, so it doesn't really like fall into my under eye wrinkles. So let's go ahead and just apply this like I normally would. My sponge is also from She Glam. I did get a pack, I think it was like maybe 50 or 60 Rand for a pack of 5, and I really like them. They're very spongy. Well, it is a sponge, but it's not very dense. It's quite squishy, and it is latex free as well because I'm allergic to latex. So I'm going to go ahead and blend this out under the eye. I don't like to leave my concealer sitting under my eye because then it definitely falls into my creases. So this is it blended underneath the eyes. It doesn't have like the fullest coverage, but for me it's the finish. I don't mind coverage. Like, yes, I do have dark circles, but I'm a human being and sometimes I do not sleep and I get sinuses and allergies, so it's okay as long as it like kind of dulls it out and doesn't like bring it forward. That's okay for me. That's all the cream liquid products that I can recommend because I don't have many like cream bronzers or blushes from brands that are available in South Africa. I do have the She Glam ones, but She Glam is accessible in South Africa, but not that much. So I didn't want to, there's a couple of products or one product from She Glam that I have in here, but in general, it's a little bit more difficult to get than like just going to Clicks or Discam, and you have to wait and pay taxes and stuff. So I'm moving straight into powder. For powder, I have the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I wear the shade 220 Natural Beige, and I think this is slightly too dark for my under eyes but too light for the rest of my face, but today we're gonna put it under the eyes. This is the only powder I actually have available with me that's from South Africa or that you can get in South Africa. So I just take that on a powder puff. Sorry, my powder puff is not the cleanest. I take that and then I just dab it out under my eyes, and then I just go ahead and set under my eye. Some people like swear by this powder, but in my opinion it's not that great. Maybe it's the shade I got. I should have maybe got like a translucent. I always just take it along the nose in this area where I'm very porous, but as you can see, it does blur, but I think the shade is just, no, actually it does blur, and I do like the powder, but it wouldn't be like my very first go-to powder. For all of the face, I'm going to go in with the She Glam. This is the one product I did add because I really do like it, is the She Glam Baked Glow Setting Powder in the shade Translucent. However, it does have a shimmer through it, so it looks really, really nice over the foundation, so it gives you that glow back and it's not too matte, but you can still have like your powder products glide over it. So again, just patting it out on my hand and then getting it nicely distributed on the brush, and then I go ahead and stipple that all over the face. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but as you can see on my hand, there's a slight iridescence just over there. This is what the skin is looking like up close. Next, I'm going to go ahead and just grab this setting spray again, and I'm just going to, I know it seems weird because I just powdered my face down, but trust me, it really, really helps your makeup to last longer. So I powdered down my face and then go ahead and spritz it again. So I spritzed after foundation and then after powder again. Next, brows. Before we move on to the rest of the face, I have this NYX Lift and Snatch, and I really, really like this pen. It is actually my favorite that I've used so far out of everything, but the one from She Glam was really nice as well, but I just prefer this because it, like, if the tip dries up slightly, you can shake it and more product comes out. So I'm not sure what exactly that is, but it's really handy. So I like to use a brow pen. I just feel like it looks a little bit more natural. And once I draw it on, I like to just tap it out with my finger like that, just so it blends in. Pluck my eyebrows, so don't look at that. My recommendation for bronzer will definitely be this Essence Contour Duo palette. Mine's 20 darker skin, so there's two shades in here, a really dark contour and then more of a bronzer shade, and this is both matte, which I really like. I do like a slight shimmer sometimes, but I've noticed that it looks very muddy on my forehead, so I prefer a matte bronzer on certain parts of my face. So I just want a light bronzing, so I'm going to use like a slightly like tapered powder brush. I'm pretty sure this is for under your eyes, but I'm going to use it on my cheeks. This I got from Take A Lot in a set, and it was like 300 Rand for like 10 brushes if I'm not mistaken. But I'm going to dip into the lighter shade here. I used to put my bronzer a little bit higher up, but I find that it mixes with my highlighter and can make it quite muddy as well, or it just looks strange. So I've put my contour lower down again, or bronzer. So as you can see, it's quite a natural bronzer. It's not too deep, it's not a contour, it's just to bronze your face slightly. Next, I like to go in with a highlighter before I do blush, and my recommendation is another one from Passion Pro. So this is the highlighter palette in Limelight, and it comes with like a peachy shade over there and then more of a bronzy tone. I like using both of them. I'm very much into like color highlights these days. It is a little bit glittery, but it's really nice to add to your collection. I just like to put it on the high points of my face. It's really, really pretty. I still prefer to use mine with a little bit of a smaller brush, just so I don't get too much of an area. For blush, I would say the Essence blushes, they aren't bad, but like I said, they are not my absolute favorite. They can look a little bit chalky. I would recommend them depending on how much of a pigment you like, but for today, I pulled this Palladio matte blush. I really like this. It's in the shade Toasted Apricot. That's what it looks like. So I really, really like the shade as well, and it's pigmented, which I like. I'm a very like blushy person. I love blush. As you can see, as you run your brush through it, it's actually on the brush, which I really love. And then I just place that between my highlight and my bronzer. But look how pigmented that is, and like I said, I love blush. It's my first thing to fade on my makeup, so I want something that's gonna last, and the Essence blush I just didn't find was as pigmented as I like my blushes. Now for setting spray again, because I do it again, I really like this Smudge, again from Smudge. I hate the brand, like not hate's a strong word, but I strongly dislike this brand because like I said, I think it's a money grab. But this Smudge Glow Fixing Spray is legit. Like honestly, I did the eyeshadow test like with this as well, and this is the only one that completely didn't smudge. So this is a glowy one. It does have little specks of glitter in, but I don't mind it at all. It just hydrates my makeup again, so I drench my face with that. And I go in with my setting spray now before I finish the eyes because I don't want any smudging. For lip liners, I pulled out a lipstick that doesn't suit any of the lip liners that I love, so my bad. The lip liners that I really like are from Wet n Wild, the color Icon. I have one in chestnut and one in plumberry that are really good, and it goes with almost all my lipstick combos. But for today, I'm just going to use a brown eyebrow liner. For lipstick, I have this Maybelline Color Sensation lipstick. This is so old, but I know they still do make it, and my shade is called Midnight Merlot. Oh my gosh, I've had this for years and I still love it. I should probably get rid of it and get a new one, but it's literally one of my favorite lipstick formulas, like drugstore wise. And I'm just going to apply some of that like this, but that's like a nice dark rich shade and I really love it. Don't know if it goes completely with the look that we chose today, but that's the lipstick that I would really recommend. Lastly, for mascara, my recommendation would definitely be the Lash Princess. I haven't tried the other, like they have a green one and I'm not sure what other color they have, a pink one I think, or like a peachy one, but I like this one, which is the purple one, and it is the volumizing one. When I first got this, I really didn't get the hype, but the longer it's been open, the more I like it. So I'm just going to apply a coat of this just to one eye to show you, in case I'm sure you've tried it. I'm sure everyone and their grandma has tried this one, but this one is my favorite, and I like I really do like the shape of the wand. But like all Essence products, just a lot of product comes out when you first open it. Well, when you go in and pull the applicator out. So as you can see, I did mess under my eye, but this is the eye with and the eye without. It's difficult to see because of the liner, but you can see like my lashes are now touching my eye. So I'm just going to go do the same on the other side. This lipstick really doesn't go, but I really love the formula. Even now sitting here, it's so comfortable. So friends, this is the finished look. So these are all my favorites that are available in South Africa, a full face of them. Like I said, I do have more favorites, but I think these are the core products that I think look good on my face every single time I wear them. Bar the lipstick color right now, it doesn't really go with the eye look, but the formula, like I said, is really good. It's not drying, it's moisturizing, it's not slippery. So yeah, I really like everything I have on my face. Let me give you one more zoom in. So this is what the skin is looking like. And I think there's nothing wrong with it. I think it looks wonderful. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and please, if you have any other video ideas just like this subscriber did for this one, please let me know down in the comments, or feel free to message me over on Instagram or TikTok, whichever platform you prefer or which you have access to. But that's it from me, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you choose to use any of these items, please also let me know and tag me over on Instagram. But that's it from me, guys. See you all next week. Bye.